Super Saturday is ready to go. Gregor McNeish, ball in hand, and he sends it. Game one of the Saxo Capital Markets Super Saturday for the men's Premiership in Hong Kong is underway. As Deploy finds Tiatanga. He with blonde locks, and everyone Deploy, he never looks out of mode, does he? He's just probably one of the busiest halfbacks there is in Hong Kong. As Ben Rimini gets on the trusty left foot and sees it off.
Yeah,
Junior.
you're right there, Jed. Kowloon is one of those teams that Tigers always seem to slip up with. Just Kowloon, just give 80 minutes, and you sort of pull the hand off the, you take your foot off the pedal 10 minutes to go, and they can come back at you quite quickly. So that's a very important game for Tigers today. They need to get momentum going into the last round. So a win today would do them well.
Scottish is flirting with the defensive line at the moment. They're giving the ball plenty of air, which is good to see. It's encouraging stuff. Good enterprising rugby by Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish as Pincott moves it on. McNeish goes. Now they put it through the hands. Here's Taylor. Sean Taylor is off to the line for the first try of the day. And this man has been turning heads since he turned up for Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish, and he just keeps the dream alive. Valley, well undone so simply.
Mate, it was. If you looked at that, they Scottish aren't playing their runners too close to the ruck. They're actually sort of hitting the ruck sort of third or fourth man out, which is actually creating those midfielders are sort of in two minds. So they're hitting it up there, and then just going wide again. They're getting an overlap, and then giving the ball to someone like Taylor, who's just all season he's done the right thing. Again, show and go, and then he just puts the gas on and through. He's away.
Well, he may not be top end pace, Sean Taylor, but he's got line break speed. There's no doubt about that. He hits the line with beautiful angles. Welcome to the broadcast, Chris Davies. Is he watching? Hopefully, I think probably from Fiji. Vanaka. And Jimmy Gibson has worked out Facebook Live, probably through the assistance of someone. Jimmy, sure. Hopefully, we'll see you later on in the club. McNeish. 3 points for McNeish, and now Hong Kong Scottish lead 10 points to 6. Ben Rimini now is sizing up a 3-pointer. Rimini's kick is straight down the line, and Valley prepare to hit the turn. 1 point adrift of Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish, although.
No, exactly, Jed. And that's one thing about this Valley side is they really know how to drive a game home. They know how to play a game. And if they get this kick over here, Scottish will be sort of kicking themselves a bit. They played all the rugby in the first half, or all the attack with the ball in hand, but they've managed to come out. They're now behind after the first 3 minutes of the second half. So yeah, Jed, I think Valley will take a lot out. They'll take a lot of confidence out of that. They've held Scottish on their own line for a good 5 or 6 minutes, and they've forced the Scottish into taking a kick. So that's, in their eyes, they'll see that as a win. They can 3 points, go back to halfway, put a long kick down there, and put pressure straight back on the Scottish. So it's probably an easy option there for Scottish, and Valley will take heart that they've held them out, and then they'll fire back at them.
Dangerous.
Little cheeky nod there. Cheeky nod there from Deploy to Karatai.
Very dangerous from this part of the field.
This is where they would want to be at this. They've got the ball in hand, 40 out on the 15. They've got the whole field to work with, basically, the whole one side. So.
Well, they'll start to use it as Deploy finds Rimini, and Rosley gets on the outside. Drags the concern of 2 of them. Still the effort deployed. Fenn, Williams. Caught the space he was after. If he gets some space, he can shut the gate on him. Allman does well, still carrying, still playing with lots of vigour. Young gets up, gets down, gets back up again. Slow ball on first receiver from Rimini, and it's good, strong, aggressive tackling from Scottish. Matt Rosley, might have forgotten his role as a fly half. He's become a loose forward. Great ball from Rimini. Davidson into half a hole. It shuts down on them pretty quickly though, but lo and behold, they've moved up 15-20 metres, Valley. Now they're starting on the next milestone. Here comes the 22.
They just look comfortable with the ball in hand.
Matt Rosley scythes through the gap, brings it back, he straightens, deploy through 1, 2, 3, deploy for 5. It's a try for Ryan, deploy. It's a try for Valley. And is that the nail in the coffin?
Well, Jed, it just, you know, as I said earlier, you're a Valley or a team you just can't write off. And even, as I said before, even with the ball in hand, they just look so comfortable. They don't look like they're stressed. They're patient. Everyone knows what their role is. And then, you know, you get someone like Rosley who just takes that break, offloads to someone like Ruin Deploy. Those guys aren't going to go down too easily.
Well, Ruin Deploy has done a tremendous amount of work here to finish that one off. It's not like Matt Rosley didn't open it up for him. No,
I mean, Deploy was like 4 guys he sort of fended off there and held them off. So, mate, that's it. I mean, that's the way they get their heads up now, and Valley will be hard to sort of to turn over from here. I think they've got their plan of attack now. They've got a few fresh guys on. They've got a couple more to come on off the bench, and they've got their tails up. And Valley with their tails up is not a pretty side if you're on the opposition.
Ben Rimini for the conversion. This will be an important 2 points if he slots it through. There's one seen off the clock with it as well. Ben Rimini strikes it, brings it straight through the middle, and Valley skip away to 19 points to 13. Deploy, on out to Lennox. Coming up to 80 minutes now, referee's time just around the corner. And this opening game has been a lesson in patience and strategy as Society General Valley have opened the textbook.
And this is all over now.
A bit of a lesson. I think the Scottish Ben Rimini puts it to touch. And Rob Naylor, that's a win for Valley.
It is, Jed, and unfortunately, as I said earlier, I think that there's that middle part of the game there. Scottish lost their way a little bit. They got a bit excited with being up, and just looked like they were happy to sort of take the win. But 35 minutes into a game, you can't count Valley out. So I think they just didn't take enough of their chances when they had them. And Valley past masters, they know how to pull a game out of the fire, and then they've come away with a good win.
First scrum pricey, so you know it's a little settler, isn't it, for both teams?
Yeah, good chance for all players, or especially the forwards, just to get involved. And we're popped up again here, and we're going to have a free kick. Lost patience. That's Kinlock carrying hard. Swanson finds Cunningham, one of the people we talked about in the pre-game. Hong Kong captain. He's brought down on the 10-metre line. Swanson digging in deep here. He's had to go really hard. Sawyer. Another good runner, finds a couple of metres there. Some good phases here for Kowloon. He's still on the 10-metre line, centre field. Styles playing 10 today for Kowloon. Swanson finds Styles again, pushing wide. Looks like Tom Berry coming in looking for some work. Cunningham, another carry for him. Always hard to bring down, always makes it over the gain line. Out the back there, looks like, he went straight around the back of a player. That's Kinlock into the backfield. Gallagher coming across. Oh, he's done him. And over. Chris Kinlock scores the opening try of the game, Cookie.
Wow. Show and go, the traditional show and go. There it is, eh? And yeah, that was just a lovely step inside out. Showed him the ball. Try. Great start, Kowloon. Great start, Kowloon.
See the replay there. There was a really poor read in defence by, looked like Robbie Keith. Really a good decoy line. And then Kinlock, once he got into the backfield, it was always going to be pretty hard to stop him. He had an option outside. He chose to dummy and go. And Tigers this year have struggled in the first sort of 20-15 minutes of games. And today's no different. They're going to have to get behind the post now and regroup. And Kowloon will be extremely happy with that start. Kick to come, up 5-0 early.
Yeah, I mean, Kowloon, you know, they've come here to play, obviously, and they've got, as I said before, they've got nothing to lose, and you know, great build-up and great try. Yeah. Well done, Kowloon.
Looks like Jack Hughes for Kowloon's going to be lining up this conversion attempt. Not a lot of wind around in Hong Kong today. It's about 19 degrees. Beautiful rugby weather, overcast conditions. No excuses today for the boys out there.
So just looking at the Facebook Live, Lily Piper, that must be Charlie's maybe sister or mum, or saying great try, what a try. Good to have you in the house, Lily.
There's the extra 2 points for Hughes. Kowloon take an early 7-0 lead. Looked like the Kowloon prop might have come down on this side. We're going to play on anyway. Ball's at the back. Pushing wide here. They've gone right out to the wide channel. Tom Berry puts it on the toe, gets it in behind. Jack Hughes is chasing. Casey Stone. Oh, Casey Stone's bobbled it. Hughes is over. Kowloon are on fire, Cookie. That's 2 tries now in the first 10 minutes, and Tigers look to have that under control. And the usually very reliable Casey Stone is giving them a gift.
Well, gee whiz, you know, fortune favours the brave, and clearly, you know, these guys are, the Kowloon fellas are asking the questions, aren't they, in behind? I mean, that's probably the second or third kick in behind the defensive line. Casey, unfortunately, he won't want to see that again on the replay. Lovely try, again, Kowloon. Looking good.
So Tigers contested the last line out on their own 5-metre line. Interesting to see what they do here. They've definitely got the taller line-out jumpers today, Tigers, so if they can get their timing right here, they could disrupt. They do go up. A little bit scrappy, but Kowloon control at the back here. They've got a very solid platform here, and they are starting to move forward. This is looking very dangerous here for Tigers. Kowloon pushing. Over!
Yeah.
Kowloon, 19 points in 16 minutes, are on absolute fire.
Again, Kowloon, they look like a top of the table side, not a table that's you know down the bottom of the league. Again, just very impressed with their composure. They know what they're doing, they know what they're about, and they're asking the questions of Tigers and getting the rewards.
Didn't quite see who ended up with the try there. We might get a better look here when they come up off the ground. A few bum slaps there for the hooker.
I think it's Charlie
Piper.
Yeah, I think it's Charlie Piper. So
Piper,
Lily's going to be very happy with that. In fact, Lily's saying Kowloon on fire. They are indeed on fire, Lily.
Right, Jack Hughes again. He's flushed both of his other kicks beautifully down the middle. Chance to make it 21-0 here.
Pretty much similar position, maybe a little bit wider out, but he's got his kicking boots on today, Brycey.
And he has nailed the conversion. Kowloon have kicked out to a 21-0 lead after 18 minutes, and there is a massive upset on the cards. Tigers really need to sort something out here. Yeah, looking at about 5 or 6 turnovers for Tigers today already, and Kowloon lucky to have 1 or 2, if that. So another chance here in Tigers territory. Sloppy line out, and Lodge making disrupt. Miller carries hard. Miller, he's a hard man to bring down. On to halfway here, Walden. Finds Featherstone. Cries for offside from the Tigers fans out here. Spitz finds Gallagher. Just going sideways a little bit there, Tigers, but they do manage to get over the Kowloon halfway. Walden hits Woodburn short. Again, Hurstich out the back, finds Keith. A little dink in behind, something different. Chipman's got lots of time here. He's got Miller outside. Takes it, Miller, bumps Hughes. A bit more enterprising there from Keith. And there, Barlow's got miles of space. Over, we've got a try. The vision from Keith there really set that up. You can see We'll see the replay in a minute, but that's just exactly what the Tigers needed.
Yeah, well, there's that kick in behind again, isn't it? And, you know, it obviously, you know, it opens up the defence and creates some space. It's great to see a front rower just bursting onto the ball. I mean, I thought, you know, I think that's, you know, for anyone who aspires, any of the young lads out there who aspire, or girls who aspire to play front row, just to see a one running onto the ball. I mean, down line, quick feed. Chipman did really well there, really well. But that's a great try. Great try.
Really good performance from those three Tigers forwards there to get themselves in those positions as well. Chipman carried, offloaded, then managed to find himself to 9 to make the pass to Barlow as well. You've got to praise that work rate. So Tigers give themselves a sniff. You know, I guess if anything, if you're going to be down 21-0, you'd want to have an hour left. So they've given themselves lots of time to come back. Yeah,
I think that once again, I think the thing there with Tigers is they've upped the work rate, you know, and good to see the boys, you know, the front rowers and the back rowers, you know, getting involved in playing like backs.
Set here. 26 minutes gone. Kowloon's still leading 21-5. Golden opportunity though for Tigers. Kowloon's holding strong. Walden's going to play wide. Keith pushes wide. Spits. It's Casey Stone. He doesn't miss those, Casey Stone. Brilliant hands and a brilliant finish. And the man just keeps getting better with age, Casey Stone.
Yeah, well, that's the mark of a classy player, isn't it? Casey Stone. Yeah, just good hands. I mean, the ball was actually behind him. Just took it high and behind. So it comes out, goes wide. Beautiful pass by the 10, and then yeah, just over in the corner. What a lovely try. All in all, the games I've watched Robbie play, he's pretty tidy though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very tidy. Very English fly half. Good with ball in hand, and he's also got great feet.
He's got a bit of Andy Good about him. Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I did like Andy Good, I got to say.
His style of play, or is what he looks like?
No, his style of play. Well, both probably.
Well held by Tigers at the back there, and they get them all up, rolling around the corner. They're very high though, very upright. Woodburn peels off though, he's going to score! Over! Tigers are back.
That's just great reward for just individual aggression. Alex Woodburn, well done. In fact, he's probably been, for me, maybe, well, him and Hurstich, maybe, and Chipman, I got to say, but probably the pick of the forwards.
Yeah, he's a very strong player, Alex Woodburn. And you can see here, Miller, the clean line-out win was key. They were very upright, but as soon as they got that peel off, there was 4 or 5 Tigers players on 2 Kowloon defenders, and once Woodburn got out, with a little bit of an assist from Matt Key, there was no stopping him that close to the line.
A little lucky there from the Tigers too, Matt Key.
Yeah.
But hey, at the end of the day, got to give the reward for the effort and great try, Alex Woodburn.
Well, it's been a wild first half, and Tigers have a kick to make it 21-17, and there's still 2 minutes to go. He's nailed that one, Robbie Keith. Made up for the earlier misses. 21-17.
Again, Pricey. You know, Kowloon they've got to be careful that they don't go into their shell here. So important kick, this one. In the scheme of things, very important kick.
27 metres out, just to the right of the uprights, and the way he struck him in the first half, I've already penciled him in for 3.
Commentator's curse, Pricey.
Well, I'm wearing my Tigers polo. I promise I'm not trying to put the knockers on him, but he was striking them very cleanly in the first half. And he likes that one too, straight down the middle.
Yeah, great kick.
Keith converts that penalty. Robbie Keith not messing around again. But unfortunately for Tigers, straight down the middle of the field. Well read by Phillips. Finds Cunningham. Short pass to Warner. He's dangerous when he's in space, Warner. Finds Phillips backing up. Well handled by Miller and Woodburn. Good scramble from the Tigers. Hands up for Copeland. We're going to have a free ball here for Kowloon. Cunningham. Miss pass to Warner. He should score from here, and he does. Warner, he's been pretty quiet today, but try time, and Kowloon go out to a 29-20 lead.
Well, great energy and great skill, but you've got to go back to Bryn Phillips. He's the guy that sparked it. Good vision, good attacking vision, and creating. Here he running the ball, fantastic pass there, and great by the lock.
Yeah, Cunningham, great hands for Warner. Great backing up again there by Phillips. Two touches.
Phillips back in it again. Able to turn the ball over, get it back, quick, scrambling, and too much room out there on the outside. Great try, Kowloon. Yeah, I mean the next game obviously is going to be interesting with Club and Sandy Bay. I mean, if Club win with with a bonus point, that'll tighten it right up.
It's good to see Lee Griffiths watching as well, and Sam Purvis, the slowest winger in HK rugby. I would go one further and say world rugby.
Oh,
what is he doing out there?
Oh, I'm a Sam fan. I like Sam. That's a bit harsh. Harsh but fair.
I live with Sam, so I can get away with it. Hurstich peels off the back. Last chance here really for the Tigers. They need to come away with points. Chipman. Walden finds Soppet. Really well tackled down low. It's the replacement front rower James Holmes there. Icanazio picks and goes. Hunter sees a little space and pushes his nose through. Hurstich again. Really good shift from Hurstich. He's going to be playing 80 minutes today, and he hasn't stopped. They're just edging their way closer here. Barlow sees some space. 2 metres to go. Hunter. Everyone, all hands on deck there. Purvis is in at the ruck. Chipman has a dash. Slowing the ball down really well there. James Cunningham, he knows what he's doing. Clever operator. Still 2 metres out. Oh, the ball's popped up. It's gone backwards. Icanazio. Over! On debut, Icanazio. Game on. I think Robbie Keith's actually just going to drop kick this one over probably. I don't know how much time we've got left. No, the tee's got out.
2 minutes, Pricey.
Well, the game clock at the field is ticked over to 40 minutes, but I don't know if that clock's correct. Josh Hurstich is just having a word with the referee now.
That's just good power from the Tigers, big fellas. Taking the ball in, good control. I'm not sure it came out the back there, but gee, that was just like, hey, get out of my way, I'm going over.
Yeah, the big man, Icanazio on debut. Robbie Keith here with a chance to make it 29-27, and he's hooked it. So unfortunately for Tigers, a penalty's not going to win this game now. They're going to have to score a try. Hurstich carries strongly into the line. Tigers are going to have to go about 80 metres. Last time Tigers played here at Football Club against Football Club, they won after the siren, so it's not like they can't do it. Wide ball here. They're going wide early. Spitz gets himself into a little bit of space. Some suggestions from the Tigers fans that it might have been high. Oh, drop ball. And this could be game, set and match. Oh, a bit of a chip and chase from Piper. And then a bit of a seatbelt tackle. What's happening here? The referee has blown full time. Kowloon with a huge, huge win. 29-25, and Cookie, the form book, has been thrown out the window.
The Kerry Hotel Player of the Week, round 10. Josh Dowsing continues to set a standard for the loose forwards in the Saxo Capital Markets Premiership, with performances that hint to the prospect of him finding his way to full potential. His directness is cause for concern with ball in hand, but on defence, the threat only seems to grow. Josh Dowsing, Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish, the Kerry Hotel Player of the Week. Well, if there is a more humble Australian, Brian Rennie, I'm yet to find him.
I agree with that, yeah.
Terrific legacy that Rob Blaine has laid down here at the Hong Kong Football Club. And as you can imagine, a lifetime membership here, that's not a bad way to go out, is it?
Oh, it's fantastic. Just great recognition for years of behind the scenes sort of support of the club.
So the fish heads out there gathering a bit of a frenzy. A few last photos for Rob Blaine. Premiership Super Saturday. Gear Curry, ball in hand. Brian Rennie to my left-hand side. Tanadawit referee Craig Chan says time on. And we're ready to rock and roll. And Gear Curry sends it high, wide and handsome and pretty deep with it as well. As Jamie Lauder almost manages to take out one of his own men, and then straight away the game's off to an unorthodox start. Thundersmith into the centre. There's Liam Sladen, probably the quietest you'll see him all day. The chat will be going round about now. Get out. Well, the club have been magnificent at home. They were great last weekend, taking care of Valley with a superb defensive effort. And Sandy Bay trying to get on the right foot. A good foot. Period of play, good pressure from the Texas club. They start leaning on Sandy Bay's line early in the match. Still just taking inches at a time. Sandy Bay holding together pretty nicely, but here's a few more yards, 1 or 2 more yards for this Texas club side. If they can recycle, get them back on their feet, they're just going to keep this pressure on. One out. It's looking pretty good for club. In fact, it looks fantastic for club. And an early try for number 2, Campbell Wakely. He can tick that one up. He's got a few this season. Wrens and the Texas club making it look fairly easy.
Yeah, disappointing for Sandy Bay. They just loose at the base of the scrum. It was initially a strong carry, but that'll be frustrating for these guys. So draining, defending those pick and goes, and let's see how they bounce back now.
Well, Glenn Hughes was at the buffet breakfast at the coffee shop yesterday morning. Shoulder to shoulder at the bacon we were. Talking about all the important stuff. Hughes for 2. And it's paint by numbers for Glenn Hughes at that range. To be honest, he came in last year, he did a very, very, very difficult run last year. He's done some wonderful work on the off-season.
Absolutely. I mean, they've recruited pretty well in the off-season, but he's a very good sort of technical scrummaging coach. Worked with him with the Hong Kong under-20 side, and he turned things around with the scrum and the line-outs actually. So he's definitely a promising young coach, and I think he's doing fantastic things with Sandy Bay.
Club now, 5 from the line, 16 in from stands with a touch, the public stands. There's a player down in the background, you might have seen him just vanish out on the left-hand side of the screen. He's getting some attention, but club thundering away towards the poles. Lauder. They're trying them on up close, and they've got them. A second try for the Texas club, close to the poles, and that was just, well, that was just blunt force trauma. Wrens?
Very similar to their first try, and as you can see, just draining for the Sandy Bay defence. Milking penalties. I think the Sandy Bay defence is probably a little bit high around that guard sort of mark, and this is an area obviously football club are looking to target.
Lawrence Bay never really got a shoulder in the action there. Saturday evening traffic backs up. We see Glenn Hughes, slot 2. I would say a disproportionate amount of resets, but it's certainly been plaguing the game today.
Absolutely, it's been a common theme, hasn't it, across all 3 games.
Lauder in, and it's a mess up front. Not entirely sure if that was Chan's call or not, but this will be a 3rd try to the Texas club. Well, what about that one? They've just broken the door open and walked right in. Can't even get a replay here, but that was very simple indeed, Brian Rennie.
Absolutely, a bit too easy. Good footwork and unfortunately a couple of missed tackles there, not helping Sandy Bay's cause, and pretty much a guaranteed 7-pointer.
Glenn Hughes slots the conversion, 7 more points. It's lazy, 3 converted tries to 2 penalties as the Texas club lead Sandy Bay 21 points to 6. Set piece is working smoothly for the club. That's a good ball in the midfield, wasn't it? And what a line being run by Axton Barrett, and they still keep coming. This one looks like it's all over.
There we go.
In they go. Nate to Terry with a spectacular dive roll, and the Texas club make it 4 tries in 28 minutes.
That was ruthless. What a line on the outside channel, and a couple of fantastic offloads. And this team's playing with some real confidence now.
It's terrific work, isn't it? Just a lovely little ball there. Some good hands, eh? And there's still a bit of finishing to be done. And that's a tremendous run. This boy Pum's been on the front foot, hasn't he, all day?
Absolutely. Lovely pickup as well. And what a dive to finish.
Glenn Hughes lines him up and misses. Well, you don't say that very often.
No, it's a rare miss, but that was quite a tricky kick.
I think he knows you're in the commentary position. Ramsey's trying to trick you. Greetings to Jason Bray. Probably watching from parts unknown. Chris Scott and Nick Hewson, who I believe is on babysitting duty. So, see you tuned in, fellas. Thanks very much for your attendance today, ladies and gentlemen. As Curry puts one away. It's a decent shot from Axton Barrett. On Kalel. Now, Babe. He goes forward. It's just a little bit disjointed at the moment, isn't it? It's Matt Lamming decides to carry. Slatum arrives. Metters, Fundersmith. Great ball, great line. Terrific work from Luke Fundersmith. Spanton. Number 14 for Sandy Bay. Gee, that was a tiny bit of work from Luke.
Indeed it was. Great footwork and the offload as well. He's turned him inside out. And again, frustrating, you know, not able to build those phases and hang on to those balls and try and get themselves back into the game.
So, Texas club, without the services of Mitch Andrews this weekend. Not too sure if they lost a few to the Coral Sevens, Greens.
I'm not too sure. They must have lost 2 or 3, I'd imagine. But I know Big Jevon Groves is away coaching, and I'm sure there'll be a couple other players down there.
Of course, Sandy Bay have got the McQueen brothers, and I think at least the AMAC might be down there. Maybe Tom as well.
I think both are down there.
Penalty to the Texas club as we come into the final 10 minutes. And well, we can script it any way you like, ladies and gentlemen, but the bottom line is this: Sandy Bay, they need to get the show on the road. Everybody knows scoring just before the half is the way to keep the momentum, or get the momentum, or build some enthusiasm. But you have to say at the moment, the Texas club are putting in a fairly comprehensive performance.
And their tails are up as well as another dominant scrum, and it's just quite an easy release of that pressure near enough to the Sandy Bay halfway line.
Wakely finds Jenkins and they make it look easy. Rowick, ball on the outside. This is terrific work by the Texas club. Lauder Blindside, they just have got them in 6s and 7s at the moment. And it's been let loose, so they're off the hook. Sandy May, but not by much, as they look to exit through Curry. He sends it down range. Club, they go looking for space. Some trouble. Nate Terry puts a twinkle on. Just about sails right through. Lauder finding a runner. Golino. Lauder again, same way. Quick pass by Hughes. Quickly into the action. One of the big fatties standing just outside and goes for safety. Lauder. Mr. Barrett can't hold his feet. Ball is there though. Lauder under pressure. Pim carries. Almost like he's got the don't tackle me rule on him. Wakely now. Not a big man, but he's mobile and he's nuggety and he's tough. Takes him up towards the 22, and now Jenkinson takes him up and over and in. Lauder, Hughes, Terry. Second man played, Axton Barrett. He offloads to Tom Hill. They are playing with some real confidence, aren't they? No way through there. Not even for a man his size. Mr. Donnelly. Hughes, little ball. Showed it on the inside. As all good first 5/8 should do. And eventually play breaks down. Referee Chan comes back for the advantage. Penalty to the Texas club.
Draining stuff that for the Sandy Bay defence.
Draining stuff for the commentary as well.
Doing a great job, Jed.
Thanks, David Vander joins us. David, welcome along to this Game 3 of Super Saturday here in Hong Kong. First one of the year. Quite enjoy the Super Saturdays, Renz, to be honest.
Yeah, so do I. Decent crowd. And it's, you know, just.
When are they going to get one of these out to shit, mate?
Oh, good question.
Bring it to the Rock.
Absolutely, very good question. We'll probably need to think about that next season or the season after, to be honest.
Well, it's always a good occasion. 3 games of Premier Rugby back to back in the one location. It's pretty well, brings everybody in for a regular get together and club. They get for another penalty. Is it a knockdown? Is that what they're saying?
I think so. That was pretty lucky.
Gee whiz, no card. Hang on a minute. Oh no, wait on. Hang on a minute. There's always a bloke standing around on the sideline with something to say. Yeah, right. You better come out here, Liam.
You called that, Jed, and I think it would have been a short try if you hadn't intervened. So this will be interesting to see how these next sort of 10 minutes play out. Sandy Bay down to 14.
10 big minutes of defence coming up for Sandy Bay, not only to close out the half, but to open up the next one. Liam Sladen heads off to the chair of reflection. Personal analysis.
Yeah, no, I think one of the poor ladies in the stand caught a falcon there as well from the touchline.
No. Club now, they settle it up. 5 out. Jamie Hood's just arranging the furniture the way he likes it. Wakely, if he can get through, he's still going. Campbell Wakely. Oh, he must have only been inches short. The ball's in there somewhere. Jamie Hood looking, thinking, scheming. Still there, comes over the top of it. They've got a few in there. They try the bums rush, it doesn't work. Short side, there's a big gap there, no one's looking. Donnelly, pop pass, Wakely goes again. And I think he's given it, he has indeed, Craig Chan. And it's another try for the Texas club. And a brace for Campbell Wakely in the first half. And that pretty much, I would think, puts the line under it already.
That was a strong carry, and look at the latch from number 12 in behind as well. That's some powerful stuff, Tom Hill.
He's a big enough man to have behind you too, you'd get. Oh, they've just really punched their way in there. I wouldn't say, other than try from Nate Terry, that it's been done with any real aesthetic pleasure.
Just a lot of muscle, a lot of grunt, and then some pack certainly has the upper hand at the moment. So, yeah, Sandy Bay needs to do something to get back into this game, or else it's going to certainly run away from it.
Speaking of grunt and a lot of muscle, Martin Kibble's watching.
Welcome, Martin.
Glenn Hughes from what for you and I would be a fairly difficult position. For him, it's the light swing of the league. He's back on target, isn't he? And there's another two. Delaforce can't quite get a finger on it. That's good work from Cinnamon. Throws himself on the ball, body and all. Maybe it wasn't Cinnamon, maybe it was someone that looks like him. It was Van der Smit, in fact. Still, they trundle around. Sandy Bay looking for a breach point, looking for something to exploit, looking for some points. Close to the line. Pick and go. Sandy Bay can't quite get there. On his back. What about that one? And they take 5 points from Jack Manners. Talented referee Craig Chan awards it to Sandy Bay and Brian Rennie. It's a score before the half.
That's exactly what they needed. Some fantastic stuff. A few very strong carries. I think Ash Hyde got in behind the defence initially, and yeah, fantastic to see the try under the post. That kind of gives them a sniff now going into the second half.
Well, they'll be happy about that. Brent Wilkinson will be happy about that. Club look a little bit filthy on themselves for it, and rightly so. So Metters directly in front to convert his own try. It's a tough day at the office when you got to do it all yourself. Out. 2 points for HKU Sandy Bay. 40 minutes is up. The half time is blown by referee Chan. And as we go to the turn, the Texas Club lead Herbert Smith Freehills HKU Sandy Bay 33 points to 13. When we return, the all singing, the all dancing halftime show. And right in front of the poles, Jamie Hood. He'll keep the heat on if he can, and he does. And that's a big, strong carry from Stanley. He's ended them up probably half a metre short of the line. Hughes can't get near the ball. It's been knocked back. That's the call. Turned over, possibly. And somehow, some way, Sandy Bay have got themselves off the hook here. That's a get out of jail, that one. Doesn't clear. But they get some breathing space. Oh,
what a carry.
Axton Barrett just about cuts them in half. Pim, grab, Hood goes wide. It could be all on out here in the corner. Bounce pass. Oh, Glenn Hughes goes in. And the Texas Club, well, service has resumed.
The lead up to that try, though, the speed of ball is absolutely killing Sandy Bay. They're just not getting around defensively, and, you know, as you said, everyone's stepping up to scrum off just because that ball's on a plate. So Sandy Bay are either going to have to try and slow that ball down or just beat Football Club around the corner. But it's not looking too good at the moment.
It's all flowing very nicely for the Texas Club. Just take a look here. Renz, talk us through this.
Great carry and offload. Bounce pass, you can't. Shame.
You train all week for that, mate.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't defend that. But
this season. Let's fly. It's that good. When it's going good, it's going that good, Renz.
Wow, what a nudge.
Just cleverly moving the ball into into space. Happy to take 1 or 2 metres before they unleash. Stanley, we've got to get them down. We really have to bring them down. Hughes goes wide. The Terry does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and takes them up within a metre. Club have got to be odds on here. Well, they took the number 1 route and it's paid a dividend. Club go in for another. And Sandy Bay, even though they refuse to roll over, are being manually rolled over. And they'll come back for the line-out restart. And here's Sandy Bay now, organised and attacking. Just change the momentum for the game really is Club at 47-13. The old switch is starting to turn off on the home team. Perhaps they think they've got it done.
It's good shape by the Sandy Bay ball here. They'd like to just keep that in, I'd imagine. A little bit of off the ball going on.
There's nothing wrong with that. A little bit of getting to know you, getting to know me, and getting to know the try line. As I think the young fella we were talking about, Callum Tam, comes up and talk about enthusiasm. Ramsey's potted himself a pork pie.
He'll be chuffed for that, but no, that was great work by the Sandy Bay pack.
Another great day, another great Super Saturday. It really is a treat having these days to punctuate the season. Brings everybody together, gets them all on the same page. It's a good opportunity to compare the form of all 6 teams. They started off the season, Rodney McRobbie, CEO for the Hong Kong Rugby Union, stated parity was the key for the Premiership this year, and I reckon it's probably come together a lot closer than people have realised.
I'd agree with that. You know, I think the last couple of years things have certainly been a lot tighter, and you know, this year's definitely been the tightest, I think.
Quinano does well to get that ball back as Hood, as Pim, and he carries under the assistance with Wakely. But again, looking, finds Donnelly. Picks out Wakely this time. Just manages to almost get himself around the first defender again. Off the shoulder, Hughes into space. Gets it wide on the angle is Tom Hill. And it almost seems like an anti-climax, but it's a try to Football Club and they break the 50 rings.
A little bit fortuitous there, but that was a fantastic sort of break and float, to be fair. So there we go, look at that.
Tom Hill striking back on the angle effectively. We're expecting them really just to throw all caution to the wind now. 3 minutes out. Lamb, eventually the line out will arrive from Sandy Bay. There it is. They go to Pryor, they get home. Oh, that's well taken by Cameron. How'd you get that? Off the bootlaces. And they come flooding through. So they made a couple of yards on that. Sladen keeps them going. Great work from Thundersmith. Through he goes. Are they going to go here? They've gone the whole way. And Liam Sladen dots down. A consolation effort for Sandy Bay. With the kick become 54-25. Here's a replay that's worth watching though if you're a Sandy Bay fan.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic little break down the side, and as always, Liam Slater on the inside supporting like all good scrum halves do.
Good ball from Thundersmith. It's a real touch of class here, that ball. And they've done very well in the end. A try for Sandy Bay. And even though it's late in the game, it'll still be welcomed by the supporters. Travel all the way from the south side of the island, 5 minutes on the MTR. Jack Metters for 2. just inside the earlobe of the post. 10 to wit referee Craig Chan plays full time on game number 3, and it is a comprehensive and resounding win to Natixis Club over Herbert Smith Freehills HKU Sandy Bay, 54 points to 25. And before we go to the highlights, Renz, thoughts and comments here on this third game?
I thought the football club pack was ruthless, and the speed of ball just was far too quick, and Sandy Bay couldn't live with it. But good consolation try at the end, and I thought a couple of players sort of stood out for Sandy Bay. Luke Thundersmith at the end, sucking in 2 defenders. But yeah, the machine that is football club's building, and that was a pretty comprehensive win.
So that was Super Saturday for the Saxo Capital Markets Premiership, and now it's time to take in the table. Bloomberg Hong Kong Scottish still lead the group and look almost clear of danger with 40 points, and the all-important game in hand. The Natixis Club are hard on the heels of the Exiles with 37, and for the moment, still in with the chance. The prospects for Society General Valley are not as clear, but one thing is certain. With the Grand Championship just over the horizon, Hong Kong's on-the-day specialists are starting to hum. For the Tigers, it was a missed opportunity to stay with the leaders. Now alone mid-table on 26, while Kowloon on 15 and Sandy Bay on 13 may be the cellar dwellers on paper, but in the flesh, they're capable of rocking even the fastest boats.